Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Woodley here. Excited to have you today as we talk through the process of how we developed the 2-bedroom 1.5 walkout basement unit for my in-laws and our new house build. And so this was the one floor that really took a lot of working through, where the architect really helped us in this process. And I think people have been asking, can you go into more detail on this whole process? And I thought that instead of doing like the whole house in one video, it would be good to break it down. And this one was the one that was sort of the most meaty for how it had to work out, and the one that we had the least clarity on how that was going to be designed. So if you're interested in that, let's get ready to go through that here. And I'm going to begin by showing you what we sent to our architect. So as we look here at this first thing, this was the sort of sketch that we had here. Now, as this is laid out on what you're looking at here, this is the north wall here. This is the south wall. This is the west wall. And this was the east wall over here. So as we're looking at things, what we kind of had thinking is that initially we would have some kind of maybe mudroom that would be an entranceway, and then a stairway upstairs, a mechanical room, and then this would become an entrance in here. We would have 2 bedrooms over here. So we knew that we needed to have egress for this walkout basement level. In order to have a bedroom, you have to have an egress window. And then we thought, well, let's tuck this bathroom over here in the back. We don't need the light here. Put kind of the kitchen like a, or this is washer, dryer, excuse me, pantry, and then like a sort of a galley kitchen, trying to maximize the amount of sunlight that we would have coming in through this space. But to be honest with you, it was sort of an open canvas. We didn't quite know exactly what to do. So when we met with our architect, we went up to the site and I showed him kind of around there. And I want to show you some pictures of this. So as you're looking, what you're looking at right here is the slope of this site that we're going to be building into. So where these pine trees are here, there's a little stake up at this point here, and this is kind of going to be the top level of the house, and then it slopes down here into this way and then sort of levels off down here, so that we're building into this slope. This is the north side up here, the west side over here, east on the other side, and then this is the southern facing view. So really pretty kind of end of the fall. You get to see the water down through here. We love that. So this is going to be kind of looking out from that level here with it. This is the east facing view. So you have the sunrise coming up over here. And this is just kind of pretty, sort of looking out here into the woods. I think I can rotate this picture actually a little bit. If we go through here, yeah, so that's cool. So yeah, so this is the east side here, and then you pan down here and you get into that south one, but that photo stops there. Another one of the south views here that you see, and again, real pretty in the wintertime. And then this is the western view, so where the sunset kind of comes down in that. So that gives you a little bit of a sense of the site that we're working with here. And so I want to now go through the process of what did we get from the architect and how did we work through those things. All right, so after I met with the architect up on the site, this was the first draft of what we got, and it was a lot different. So it took a little bit of processing for us to understand kind of how to go through here. So what we have here is a covered porch and an entranceway with a closet, a little bit of a bench here as you come in. That would open up into kind of your dining kitchen layout here along this. Again, it's a not a huge kitchen. And then this was washer, dryer, pantry back here, the stairways that went up to the first floor that you see. Then we have our mechanical room over here, and then still have the bathroom tucked in the back, dual sinks here, and then this bedroom over here with these west views that would be facing out here. So that was this was a nice start and began to get us thinking about things a little bit differently. Well, one of the issues that we had on the upper levels let me mention one other thing here. We also have these retaining walls here that would be holding those things back on both sides to open this up. That's going to become important here in just a second. So in the upper levels, one of the changes that we made was we moved this staircase from this side of the building to the other side of the building, which you see reflected in here in this drawing. And so this was the second sketch that we got back, was we wanted to flip that around. So we flipped the kitchen, and then the other bit of information that we came out with here is you notice that the retaining wall has moved. So the reason for that is that the building code says that at least 50% of our perimeter has to be at grade level. And so in order to do that, we couldn't have that retaining wall back up here, you'll remember, in the previous plan. So we had to spend more here, so we're losing some kind of bigger window space with this. So what we have here is just kind of that whole initial design that I showed you in the last one, but flipped over here on to this side. So we're, looking at this and thinking, and we really wanted to put the kitchen over on the east side. You'll remember that picture that I showed you looking out into the woods. That was something that we really wanted. So we said, can we get the kitchen back over on the east side? This one was, this one we're going to get towards there. This one, excuse me, before we did the kitchen to the east side, they wanted to add a half bath, my in-laws. So you notice here, instead of kind of that pantry, they wanted to prioritize the half bath. So then it became this issue of how do we get the kitchen over onto the other side? And so really thinking through that. So here, same thing. Now this was our drawing to him of okay, how can we get this kitchen over here? And then my mother-in-law also really wanted a door and out on this east side looking out here. So this moved over here, and we said, what if we open this up? And so we literally sketched this out on a piece of paper, sent it to the architect. He sent it back to us, and then he called me up and said, something about this doesn't feel quite right to me. He's like, I don't like the flow of this. I don't like how it functions instinctively. I'm willing to do what you guys want, but I just want to give you my input in that. And so that was something that we gave a lot of consideration to, his input, thinking about this space up here would just sort of be hard to use, this middle kind of open space, very open, hard to define what's going on here. So we said, all right, let's flip this thing back around. We're going to move the kitchen back over here to the west. And I thought that we can say, let's put this sink right here. I think this is one of the things that we're thinking about. This is one of the most ideal views right here, the south view. We still got a window over here for the west view, and we've got, what if we have that wall in here for the entranceway, but what if we put an interior window in here in this space to kind of let this light come into here? So felt like, all right, we're making some progress here. We can see this. We're gaining some wall space in the living room to use. We've got the office. We've switched out the window for this doorway here. Feeling like we're there, but we weren't quite there all the way. One of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to create some kind of visual break here between the doorway and the kitchen. So we're not like looking directly in here. If you have dirty dishes or something like that, we wanted to avoid that situation. So okay, how can we add a little something in here for that? And that leads us to our next set of drawings, which was to move, sort of take out that wall and then put in the closet here. So as you come in, you've got a place for coats and boots, but now things are open. We're letting light in through these two windows, because remember, we're at a basement level. We don't have windows all around, and we've got that nice view here in the kitchen, the office here. This is my father-in-law. He spends a lot of his days in his office. So he's got a great view here. We've got this doorway going out for that. The other thing that I didn't mention that also got added in here is we ended up putting a second door in here in the basement to help with the sound, so we don't have that sound transfer coming from the first floor down. That was one of the recommendations, to put a second doorway in that that I had come across. So really, this started to feel really good. So we're liking that. What we wanted to do was make that kitchen window as big as possible, though. So we added a little bit of extra size to the kitchen window, which you see here in this process right here is the kitchen window. So you got this kind of nice kitchen space here. It's cozy. Not going to do the island, but we could do like a mobile island here in this. We added another little covering over the porch here in the office door for this. And so you got a nice office with a great view here. We've got our light coming in. We got windows here, windows here. One of the things that we'll probably look at is seeing if we can add like a longer, narrower window up here. I think that we may be able to do this here. That's one of those things that we can tweak a little bit as we get more specific in this. Right now we're in the halfway point, getting a bid from our builder, and then we'll make kind of the final fine-tune adjustments on that. So again, the outer dimensions here are 44 by 34, so a pretty decent size space, but this is how we were able to get a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath unit for our in-laws in a walkout basement, which I think is pretty cool. As I was looking around for these things, I didn't find a lot of plans that could help with this in my searching, and so it was really helpful to work with the architect as we were going through this. So I want to thank you for joining and listening and following along, and appreciate the questions, and hope that this is helpful for you too. If you enjoyed that process and journey and listening to that, let me know. Hit that like button, and appreciate you following along. Look forward to sharing more with you soon.